Rob, it's great to see you here at the Cyhoeddiad under slightly happier circumstances. Last time we spoke, obviously, was straight after that Poland game. But you've named your squad for these two upcoming friendlies. Talk us through your thought process when making this selection.
I think it's an opportunity to have a look at some of the younger players. Sioned, I've made it quite clear over the last few months that I want to have an opportunity to have a look at these young players, and I think the game, certainly against Gibraltar and in Portugal, gives us that opportunity. Spoke with Matty, spoke about the people that deserve to be brought up and had a look at, and I think it's been well documented that Lewis Koumas has done really well at Liverpool and has earned the right to do that. I think Charlie Cruz well spoke about Leeds and being involved with the first team. Finn's been involved in a promotion this season again, so he's played competitive football, and I think it's a great opportunity, and that's added to the likes of the other ones that we give an opportunity to, like Charlie Savage and Joe Lowe. So there's 5 or 6 now young players that have been introduced to the squad slowly.
Yeah, I want to talk a bit more about those 3 youngsters. Charlie Crew, I'll start with at Leeds. You've now got 5 Leeds players in this squad. You know, you've said many times Ellen Road's not far from where you live. How excited are you to have Charlie a part of this? Yeah,
he's a talent. He is a talent. He's a great midfielder that we've got big hopes for in the future, but we've got to be sympathetic and how we deal with it and manage that as well, manage the expectations. But I'm looking forward. I think it's a great opportunity for him to come and see what we're all about, and for us to have a look at him and how he trains, and certainly to be around the senior players that we've got left in the squad at the minute, to expose him to that, and he'll benefit from having gone through this experience come September when we got the Nations League games.
Lewis Koumas, Rob, he's had a stellar breakthrough season at Liverpool. He's quite the young talent, isn't he? His name's been floated around a couple of times now. I think fans will be very, very pleased to see him in the mix. Yeah,
I think so. I've been excited to watch him play with the 21s. He scored on his debut. It was a wonderful goal as well, so I'm really pleased for him. His attitude's very good. You don't get to play for Liverpool if you haven't got all aspects of it right, so he's doing something right, and I want to build on that. I need young talented players like that pushing us and taking us to that next level, and Charlie and Lewis both fall into that category.
Finally, talk to me a bit about Finn. He offers you a slightly different option at right back, like you mentioned, promoted with Oxford this season. What can he bring to this squad?
I love everything about him. The way he trains as he plays, and that says a lot to me. He's a good professional, so all the coaches have nothing but positive things to say about him. He's a good defender, but he likes to get forward. He's got bags of energy, similar to Connor, how we see Connor. You know, Connor's probably covers 13 odd K every game because of his athleticism and how he plays, and Finn's very much like that. So he's had a great season. He's earned his promotion. He's been involved in some high pressure games, and again I think it's the right time to step him up.
From the new faces to the experienced ones, but there are a few key players missing from this squad, Rob. Aaron Ramsey being one of them. What's the situation with Aaron at the moment?
Yeah, Aaron just wants to take this opportunity to make himself as fit as he possibly can to get through a pre-season, and your body's got to be in a physically good shape to get through a pre-season because of the demands that's expected, and then it gets him in good shape ready for the start of next season. Now, whatever happens from now until the start of the season is over to Aaron, and then if we've got again a fit Aaron Ramsey that's ready to start a domestic season, able to play 2 games a week, then he'll be considered.
There's no Nico, there's no Harry Wilson. How difficult has it been to find a balance with this squad, Rob, considering it's the end of a very long season? Your players have played a lot of football for their clubs, a few injuries floating around as well. How hard has it been to find that balance? Well,
some injuries have been taken out of my control, absolutely, because, you know, without influence they can't do anything about it. So Nico's one, for example, he puts him out of it. Brooksy went over on his shoulder, dislocated his shoulder on the weekend in the playoff game, and that puts him out. So others like Harry Wilson, you know, he's desperate to come on camp, but he needs a procedure on his ankle that has put him out of the camp, unfortunately. And then I think you've got to get the balance right. One, I want to work with the clubs, and as important the camps are for us, it gives me an opportunity to look at the young ones and then still build relationships with the clubs and get Harry Wilson in a position where he's fighting fit in September when we need him.
I want to ask you about the goalkeepers, because this is a big theme. I know it's been a headache for you? Because I think I'm right in saying since you've been in this job, you've never had a keeper playing regularly for their clubs. You've stuck with familiar names. Was there a temptation to perhaps bring in a couple of younger goalkeepers available to you?
Well, we've got 3 or 4 young goalkeepers playing for the younger age groups that Tony Roberts is. I put him in charge of that. And if we'd have had the FL camp, it would have been an opportunity to not get training into the championship players that finished 3 weeks earlier, but an opportunity to look at those younger players. So I spoke with T-Rob. It was about exposing them to training with us as well, and for us to have a look at what we got in the pathway. Unfortunately, that camp had to be cancelled because there just wasn't enough players, because they were all in the playoffs, which is good in some respects because they're being successful. So it is an issue. We do need to look at it. The FAW have backed us with regards to potentially bringing in a full-time goalkeeper coach that can go then and monitor these goalkeepers and have camps throughout the year and work with them, so they understand how we work and we know firsthand what we've got coming through the system.
Looking ahead to these 2 friendlies, Rob, I guess it's a rare occasion to have a bit of a breather, 2 friendly matches with the current climate, I guess, of football. There's so much football being played at the minute, but how crucial is this camp, considering, especially you think of that Slovakia, that'll be the final game before that Nations League campaign starts in September? And
that's why they are important. It gives, like I keep saying, it gives us an opportunity to get the young ones up, but also it's about learning from what we've gone through the last campaign, building on it. I can't wait to get the group back together again and talk about the last campaign, talk about the playoff games and how good they were in those games. And we were 1 kick away from another qualification. So we don't let that affect us in a negative way. We build on it and we make sure that come September we hit the ground running. And the game against Turkey, we start in a positive fashion and grind out wins that then put us in a good state ready for World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, that's a good point, because how do you think you manage expectations now going forward, Rob, considering it's fair to say, the Euros start in a couple of weeks, there will still be a bit of disappointment. What can we expect going forward?
So we expect to win games of football, having gone through the experience we've just gone through. We've used the Euros, the Euro campaign, to expose the JJs of the world. Harry Wilson was no longer pre-European qualifiers. Harry Wilson was probably come on for the last half an hour, probably a first sub on the hour mark. H stepped up to the plate as one of the most senior players in that Euro campaign. He's going to be bigger and better having gone through that. JJ will be better having gone through that. All the players that played those European qualifiers were 1 kick away with less experience. Now, with all that experience that they've had from those games, playing against the Croatias, the Turkeys of the world, that will hold them in good stead coming into September's camps. And we want to be successful, Sioned. That's the pressure I put on myself as a coach, as a manager. We want to get promotion from B to A. We want to qualify for the next World Cup. That's what we want to do, and to achieve that we need our best players playing. We've had a great summer with regards to players getting promoted to the Premiership, with Brodie and Wes and Kiefer being part of that, and it can only benefit us in the future. Finally, Rob, we're here at the Eisteddfod, at the Urdd. I know you've been here a couple of times now. Yep. Great to be back here, great to be mingling amongst the fans. It's great energy, isn't it? I was grabbing my coat out of the boot of the car, and a mum come on to me with the 2 young daughters and wanted photos straight away, and it was lovely. It's nice to give something back as well. And like you said, 3 consecutive years now we've been here to announce the squad, so we've got a great relationship with the Urdd and fully supportive of them. And it links quite nicely actually, Sioned, because listening to the energy that's around today, it gives the Urdd gives an opportunity to young kids, to give them that platform then to go on and do things in life, and we want to do that with the squad that we're picked today.